Okay, so just got done seeing Skincare, and I knew absolutely nothing about this movie. The only thing I knew was that it had Elizabeth Banks in it, and it was rated R because, of course, they tell you the rating of the movie. I knew that it was a movie that possibly had Elizabeth Banks in it because I knew it was one of two, possibly more movies, but. Yeah, so not having an ounce of idea what it was about. If I saw part of the trailer or knew more about it, I still would have seen it. But one thing that stood out to me while watching it that I think if I knew just a little bit about the movie, it would definitely not have the same effect. But I was curious throughout, like how. Like exactly the tone of the movie and how far it was going to go, as far as was the lead character in a lot of danger, or was the movie going to subvert your expectations of how these things totally usually end up, as being like a stalker movie. Yeah, so I was thinking, well, I don't know the real life story. There was a blurb about it being a false story of something that happened in real life or something, but I was like, I have no idea, about this story whatsoever. And even with that blurb at the beginning, who knows what could have ended up in this one. But I was thinking, okay, well, it could be a big surprise. Maybe it's going to turn out in a very positive way. Maybe it's going to be very negative. We'll see. But yeah, the tone and not knowing exactly how much to be fearful of the character was definitely a good experience. Overall, I was thinking that it was good, and there were some things that I was thinking about that I was thinking that could have held it back. And the more I thought about these certain aspects of the movie, the more I liked the way the movie handled them. And I would prefer it not to be more. I don't want to try to give away too much about the movie because I don't want to have your expectations be one way. Because part of the fun of the movie is just seeing how things kind of play out. But yeah, there were certain aspects that almost made the movie feel flat. But I think if it really worked well, I knew that it would be a movie that you could, after watching, know that, okay, it wasn't as bland of a movie as I thought. The third act really tied everything together and really did a great job. I will say that the first 85% of the movie is really good, as far as like it's a solid, really good. It's not really good or anything like that, but it's just really good. It would be like a 7 out of 10, and I knew that with a really good, I guess I'm overusing that term, but if it had a great ending or something like that, it could have been bumped up to an 8, maybe even a 9 if it blew me away or something like that. But I also knew it could go down a little bit too, just depending on things. Yeah, there's a couple of funny moments here and there. I think the acting is really good. The best part about the movie is how it introduces several male characters, and they all are in Elizabeth Banks' life in one way or the other. And the movie doesn't come out and tell you exactly how at first. You just figure it out. So you feel a little bit of dialogue and obvious things in the story and how things are playing out. Like her mechanic friend. It's like, okay, they obviously know one another. Okay, it's not so weird that he offered to help her shoot a gun. Okay, things are becoming a little bit more clear with their relationship. And yeah, so thankfully the movie didn't just come out and say stuff like, a bad line of dialogue would be, we've known one another for 5 years now, and it's like, okay, great, I get it. But yeah, so there was nothing like that with all the characters and how they interacted was really good. It was an interesting story. It seemed kind of basic, but then again, kind of not. So it was interesting enough to where you were like, I can see how this could be a movie. It's a standard story, nothing crazy about it whatsoever. But it is interesting that it's this person and you know, and this setting and everything like that. And there's lots of interesting things that happen, but it does fall apart in about the last 15 minutes or so. There's several things that are wrapped up unbelievably quickly. At one point, I was wondering if this was like, if there was something in her imagination, or I don't know, but it was. Yeah, it was weird how it started wrapping everything up. It's almost like the movie said, "Wait a second, we're cruising along at a good steady rate. It's time to wrap things up. Let's just wrap things up in the quickest way possible." And some weird things. It just does not feel natural whatsoever. I caught a conversation with this couple in the parking lot. They were walking by, and the lady was confused about an aspect of the ending. So luckily, I was able to explain it to her. So yeah, so I think I think a lot of the stuff that happens at the end might go over people's head, because it just all of a sudden it speeds up to an end, and it's totally unsatisfying. I would still recommend watching this movie. Just because there is a lot to like, and it does make me want to check out the real story to see exactly how much is accurate in this. But it's one of those endings that I could almost foresee that this being the actual ending, and it wasn't reshot or anything like that. Because, I mean, it does wrap things up for the most part, I guess. I'm very confused about one aspect of it, but yeah, but I mean, beyond that, which might work for some people, I thought the overall movie was a fun watch. It's rated R. It's kind of one of those rated R movies that's light in the rated R department for most of it. Then there's like a couple things here and there that say, okay, well, that's made it. Okay, it's definitely rated R now. I don't even want to watch this rated R movie with, you know, a close relative just because maybe of a couple shots or something like that. So, yeah. But if this is on your radar, let me know below. If you've seen it yet, I don't know. I don't even know when it really comes out, but. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions about the ending. If you want me to spoil anything in the comments, I will, of course, after it's released. So it's kind of hard to get a review out there too early, but definitely want to get this one out there and see how people react to it. I think it's going to be a movie that splits audiences, so we'll see. But I'll catch you on the next one.